Before antibiotics, injuries that now might seem trivial could often lead to serious or even life-threatening complications. Surgeries that we take for granted could not be done because there was just too much risk of infection. Simply put, antibiotics completely revolutionized our healthcare system. But now bacteria are threatening to push back the balance. They've learned to evade these powerful drugs through a process called antibiotic resistance. And this threatens to cast us into a post-antibiotic era where the dangers of injuries and surgeries becomes very real once more. One strategy in the fight against the resistance pandemic is to identify new alternatives to antibiotics. To discover these, we can actually go back to the original source of antibiotics themselves. Long before humans harnessed their power, antibiotics were actually a microbial weapon that bacteria would use to inhibit one another in their constant competition for space and nutrients. So we actually borrowed their weapon and improved it for our purposes. But bacteria actually have a lot of other weapons that they use to fight with one another. What if we could harness an entirely new one to support antibiotics against resistant bugs? That's where my research comes in, with a weapon called the type 6 secretion system. You can think of it kind of like a molecular poison-tipped spear that literally stabs neighboring bacteria to intoxicate and kill them. And a lot of bacteria actually use this weapon, giving us a lot of different spears and a lot of different types of poisons on the tip of the spear to study. Through my postdoctoral research, I'm engineering this weapon to customize which poisons get loaded on the tip of the spear. So if you wanted to target a particular antibiotic-resistant pathogen, you could load poisons on the spear that are potent against that particular pathogen, while leaving other friendly microbes, like your microbiome, unharmed. In parallel, I've also discovered how bacteria defend against the type 6 secretion system. This gives us insight into how bacteria would try to resist such an attack, and will also allow me to aim at the gaps in their armor. So by customizing the poisons on the tip of the spear and learning how we can bypass bacterial defenses, the ultimate goal of this research is to develop a novel antimicrobial therapy. So while antibiotic resistance remains a looming threat, perhaps an engineered type 6 secretion system could be our next level of protection in the fight against it.